What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with season 12, episode 1 of Married to Medicine, Cocktails, and Polo. Before I start, y'all, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm, okay? Simone is exhausting. Simone has been exhausting since this episode started. All right? Y'all already know how this starts. We get the montages of the doctors and the ladies and all of that's happening. Of course, y'all know Heavenly is a friend of, so we really don't have to talk about Heavenly's business like that. She's just a friend of because she's running for office. Anyway, Quad is at the pool with the ladies. Angel is there. We are introduced to Angel. If you haven't watched Basketball Wives, Angel is a registered nurse. She's actually from New Orleans. She lives in Atlanta, but we did see her on a season or 2 of Basketball Wives LA. She was such a nice, she was a very nice person on there. Very quiet, very, very subtle. I've seen her on movies, but, for the most part, she maintains her RN license. She is a registered nurse, and she has her own scrub line as well. So shout out to Angel. Anyway, we find out that Simone and Cecil wasn't invited to Quad's party. Quad turned 44 and she had a turn up, okay? So then we get to Jackie and Simone. Y'all know that whole famous them eating lunch. And I guess Simone talks about, her behavior once again. I'm over it because Simone is exhausting, okay? Quad says that Simone is talking about her, and that's when they did the pod. Her and Sweet Tea did that podcast and whatnot, and I watched it, and it shouldn't have happened. But of course, I think Simone did it on purpose so she can have another storyline, because of course Simone never brings us anything. Anyway, King thinks it's petty. We are also tired of the beef between Simone and Quad. And we found out that Quad actually invited Simone and Cecil to her birthday party, but it was only 2 hours before, and I wouldn't have went to the birthday party either. I would have been like, girl, fuck you and your birthday party. Anyway, Simone is being very dramatic per usual. She said if Quad keep playing with her, then she gonna have to empty the bag, and then she just dumped out a bag with some bread in it and emptied it out. And I'm just looking at Simone like, girl, you are lame if I have ever seen it. So Eugene and Toya, okay, they have moved again, and they moved into a house that's gonna be theirs, I guess. It is custom built. I love the entire house. I mean, especially that closet. Okay, I think it's a blossom tree. I forget what type of tree it is, but she has a tree in her closet. It's actually pretty. Like, her entire house is beautiful. All right. I also love Toya's confessional look. I love how her and Eugene have on the baby blue and brown, and of course Eugene have on a coat. But her hair looks good. Toya always looks good, okay? But we find out Eugene hasn't been working local for the past 6 months. He's been gone for he leaves because he leaves like 2.5 hours away, and he's always there for like a week at a time. So he stays at a hotel for a week, and then he comes home, and then he goes back. But Eugene said he makes more money. All right. So I guess Toya has an issue with Eugene leaving. And it's like, y'all, and y'all know I give the male species a hard time. I really, really do. But I get aggravated with Toya because you always see an issue with Eugene. Now it's him working, him going to work. Because the first thing that came up to your head is, oh, you could have a whole nother family. Girl, if Toya don't display this level of insecurity that is so annoying, I get it. But if you feel that strongly, oh wait, you can't leave because your kid, you have to be home with the boys. But again, the man has to work. Okay, I don't understand. If there is no problem, don't create one. Okay, Scott and Contessa. Okay, they look friendly. They don't look lovingly. They look like we're just here for the kids. For the kids. Okay. We found out that they purchased the building. They paid it in cash. They cashed out their IRA bonds and all, etc. All of the things, pulled out investments and all of that to pay for their building. I don't think the building is still ready. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, in the next scene, y'all, Quad really get on my nerves. So Mimi sent out invitations, and everybody's invitation was on a piece of turf. It was the invite. It was the little square turf. And so Mimi Quad called Dr. Mimi about her invite. She said the people. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought that was so funny. She said the people had went to Home Depot for a little do-it-yourself project. I'm sorry, Quad. As much as Quad get on my nerves, y'all. Whew, that was funny. So Dr. Mimi is having a polo, some type of polo party, okay? And she has invited all of the ladies and their husbands, okay? So Stephen and Mimi, they said that their practice is expanding, so they're hiring more employees, and they're busy with the kids. I want to say Stephen thinks that Mimi is sophisticated, okay? Y'all know Bell Collective. Whitley Gilbert, Carrie says sophisticated. Steven says sophisticated. Okay. So Toya goes over to Simone's house because they're getting ready for Mimi and Steve's polo event. They talk about Quad, of course, and Toya brings up the whole situation, the podcast or whatever with Sweet Tea and Quad. Anyway, Toya also talks about when she went on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy asked her about the Curtis situation. And so when she mentioned that, of course, Jackie has an issue with that. And Jackie put in a group text about the whole situation. Toya felt like, why can't you come to me? Why do you have to go to everybody else if you have a problem with what I said? Now, did Curtis pull her on her lap? Was Curtis' hand on everybody else? Yes. So, Jackie, why are you mad at everybody else? Why are you mad at this lady? You ain't never mad at Curtis, girl. Be mad at Curtis, okay? Oh, Jesus. And so now Toya has an issue with Heavenly. I don't know why, but she started to talk about when Heavenly's son was arrested. Okay? I don't know why or anything like that, but I know she did talk about it on her platform. I heard her talk about it. I just don't know which platform she talked about it on, but I heard Heavenly actually talk about it. All right? So we get to to the Polo event. Contessa just seems to always disappoint with her outfit choices. Okay, her and her living friendly husband. I don't know. Anyway, Contessa thinks that Quad invite to Simone was, it just wasn't a good look. And so we meet Brandy. Brandy come in, I want to say either by way of Simone or Toya. I forget which one, but I think it was Simone. Brandy has a medical spa. Brandy is young. Brandy is beautiful. Her and her husband. I didn't write down her husband's name. But she came through by way of her husband. Heavenly, we find out from Jackie that Heavenly couldn't make it. So Toya is asking why Heavenly couldn't make it. And basically, Dr. Jackie said, Heavenly said, it's none of your business. And again, Heavenly doesn't have to give her her business. Why? Because she's a friend of. She doesn't have to disclose any of those things. Okay? So Jackie and Curtis, Jackie is frustrated, is mad with Toya. Curtis ain't really speaking to Toya. Okay? Jackie said Curtis didn't like how Toya's comments put him in a bad light of who he is, and Toya said who he is today, because it was at one point he wasn't who he presents to be today. Okay, I said, my God, when I tell y'all Toya is trying to push this storyline, like as soon as we saw her, she just never stopped talking. Anyway, I'm glad because she got Jackie a little activated. Okay, Jackie said, Jackie was like, listen, I only know of one person that Big Curtis was canoodling with. Okay, that's it. And I just was like, okay, girl, fine. Curtis ain't never dealt with no other woman except for that woman he was caught in the airport with and Jackie. So that's where we at with it, okay? But we would never trust Curtis. You can trust Curtis with your life, but we can't trust big Big Curtis as far as we can throw him, okay? And so Toya wants Jackie to apologize for the whole lap situation, but again, if it coming up again was, why are we even talking about it? Okay, that's my thing. Like, why are we talking about it? Why is it a thing? And Toya could have been kind of conscientious on how she addressed it, but Toya is a messy hoe, and she gonna create mess and fires and all of the things because she know all of her people. I mean, her castmates are gonna respond in what she did. Anyway, Jackie was like, I will not apologize to Toya, so you're going to sit here and be mad at her. But I want to know, have you ever been mad about Curtis, about the whole situation? Or did you just let it sweep under the rug and never even addressed it? Okay. Anyway, Quad and Angel arrive with King. And Simone is just go up to Quad and all up in that lady face. Like, Simone is a weird bitch, okay? Simone is a weird old bitch, okay? Like, get out of that lady face, okay? So, Jackie asks Brandy, is her thyroid enlarged? Just so familiar of, you're infertile, right, Buffy? Or her stats. I mean, how women cry, black women always cry wolf. Jackie, you just can't help yourself. But I'm of the belief that Jackie is on her bullshit. She probably gonna be on her bullshit this season because production probably told her, bitch, you need to start working. Okay, you ain't work on Married to Medicine in a couple seasons. Okay, you need to do something. Anyway, Miss Brandy took it on in stride. She was like, "All right, girl, we know that you do a little shade, but it's odd that Simone was the one who told her that told Brandy that Jackie likes to throw a little shade." Anyway, and another thing, you asking this lady if because you can see her neck or something and her thyroids or whatever, but you was just mad at Toya for the comment she made on Watch What Happens Live when that comment was actually true. You can dish it, but you can't take it. But whatever. It is what it is. So Toya and Simone talk, and they talk about Quad. All right. And again, Simone is being very exhausting, and she brings up the birthday party invite. Okay. So Mimi basically was like, "You hoes can drag, because they was like, we gonna drag this and drag that." And Mimi was like, "You bitches can't drag none of this shit here. Y'all can drag stuff anywhere else but at this Polo event." Okay. So Cecil and King are having a conversation, and at the end of the day, they're tired of their women always arguing. It is exhausting once again. Toya tells them to fix their stuff, and she says to Quad, I guess she, as in Simone, tells Quad that she's not angry, and I'm like, "You not?" And said after the whole situation in New York, I was up for 2 days, and I don't know if it looked like she was crying. I don't know what that was, but I guess Simone tried to muscle up a tear. And y'all, I'm over it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, release them. Okay, this season gonna be messy. Ain't nothing changed. Okay, and this was the end of the episode. Y'all, yep. I'm going to get ready for work tomorrow. And I hope y'all have a great Sunday. The rest of y'all Sunday is great. Okay? I will see y'all tomorrow for what's tomorrow? Bel Air. I will see y'all tomorrow for Bel Air. All right? Y'all have a good one.